Hello, fellow defatifiers. The other day, someone asked me, how exactly did you lose the 60 pounds that you lost last year? We understand that you want to lose another 40 pounds or so, but how did you do it? That's a lot of weight. I have shared the general answer with you all before on this Facebook group. Patience, commitment, hope, and many of you watched me do it last year on Defatification 2008 or in person. But I haven't ever verbalized the entire story until now. My hope is that what I did, what I do, and what I've dealt with, which continues to be what I deal with, will somehow help some of you compose a weight loss story of your own. Exactly what I did all starts with nothing. As a 12-year-old who first realized he was fat, all I could muster were fantasies about literally cutting away my belly. My mother and grandmother, both raised me, were also both morbidly obese, and I was well on my way by college. A high-calorie, high-fat diet and was somewhat balanced by the physical activity that I was engaged in, sports and things. But once I grew up and no longer played outside, the pounds began to accumulate. Between the ages of 12 and 22, the perfectionist, which is really for me the dark side of that is procrastination, the perfectionist, procrastinating, carefree person that I can often be, made no serious efforts toward weight loss. Never did I take action toward resolution for longer than one day. Then, just after my 23rd birthday, I got angry. I was livid about the obese shell that I had grown to inhabit. I was so upset with myself. I recall sitting in a Taco Bell parking lot, binging on burritos, tacos, and quesadillas, and crying. I was so embarrassed by the way that I looked. It did not reflect the person that I saw inside myself, and I was ashamed to have people see me that way. I would actually hide from people. I didn't want them to see me eat. I wanted to do it in private. It was almost like this dirty, sick thing, and it was. I had a compulsion, and I would eat lots and lots of really fattening food, and it was an eating disorder. I have an eating disorder. I still do. Unfortunately, I never really realized that it was an actual disorder because I decided to soothe my anger with a quick fix, the Atkins diet. On the Atkins diet, I dropped 35 pounds in 2 months. I was elated. I just did a little cardio and ate meat and cheese, a couple of my favorites, and the pounds melted away. People were impressed, and I was a lot closer to the person physically that I desired. The problem is that I had no real goal. I just wanted to be thin. What is that, exactly? I didn't know, and I didn't know when to stop, and Atkins was rather rigid, so that time came sooner. It came a lot sooner than later. It came as soon as the anger wore off. I just stopped. And I was still obese, but not as much as before, until I got sad. I lost my job, and I was in a poor relationship, and I turned to carbohydrates in mass quantities, and within 2 months I had regained all the weight that I'd lost. My emotions overwhelmed me, and I, looking back, realized that I'm an emotional eater. In the span between faltering on Atkins, which would be the summer of 2004, and the end of 2007, I slowly got my life together in other areas outside of improvement of my physical vessel. They all seem interconnected. The perfectionist in me made me afraid to fail, and that's why I would procrastinate, and that's why I would rarely even start things that I wasn't certain that I could successfully complete. This also curbed me from starting just most important things at all, like losing weight. But over the years, I did graduate from college, finally. I started developing a career, and I cultivated a lifelong relationship with Heather. And I began to love myself more. I was taking care of my problems, all except one. To me, my weight issues are like an actual demon. Sometimes this demon sits right on my corner of my shoulder here and whispers horrific things into my ear. Sometimes it terrorizes me at night. Sometimes it's all I can fixate on. And that's the situation I was in when I say I got scared. I'd gotten angry before, I'd gotten sad, but then, in December of 2007, I got scared. Despite that, though, things were going great. I had a good job, I was preparing to propose to my best friend and lover, and I was a lot happier with myself. All except the demon of my weight problems. I would literally go to sleep at night for months, dreading that I would never awaken. I was 26 years old, and I thought I was going to die in my sleep. Because I was sick with obesity. I was sick. And I wanted to spend time with Heather as much as possible. I didn't want to die. And, I had this acid reflux, which I still have, but it's a lot more manageable now because of all the fatty and acidic foods that I used to eat. And it caused my chest to ache like I was having a heart attack, literally, folks. And I would stand up quickly sometimes, and I would become lightheaded because I had borderline high blood pressure. And sometimes I felt my extremities literally throb with the extra blood and fat pressure that I had in my body. I couldn't do this to myself anymore. That's how I frame it. And I remember to reframe the whole issue. Obesity is an illness. I am the cause. I am the cure. Stick around for part 2. It's coming up and I'll tell you guys exactly how I lost this weight and how you can do it too.